And we will get critical race theory and transgender insanity the hell out of our schools.
The idea that I can't imagine what it must be like to be a trans person, knowing that the government is trying to legislate that you do not exist.
Yeah.
I just think it's awful. And what kind of country are we in where we take rights away from people?
Yes.
Do you know what I mean? I think what is going on?
I got to tell you guys about my store, the TatumStore.com. Many of you guys have gone on and ordered I don't know how much stuff. I mean, we literally got probably 18,000 five-star reviews. But I want to tell you about these new products. You can put in code WE120 and get 20% off your entire order. I'm only doing this for my people on the YouTube channel, so I appreciate you. I love you, and I want to make sure y'all always have a discount. Inauguration Day is an incredible historical shirt. You can get it. This is one of my favorites. It's not in black like the rest of my products always are. You guys told us you want different colors, so different colors we've given you. All right, let's go down here. We got other inaugural shirts, but this is one that people have been just falling in love with, and that is the Trump metal shirt. So it's a little rocker shirt with Trump. I hope you can see it here. It's a little rocker shirt with Trump on an eagle, the most fire shirt that you're going to see. So TatumStore.com, TatumStore.com. Get your merch, WE120 to get 20% off. And do not forget to check out Candace Owens' store as well. So click on there. You can get some Candace Owens product because we work with Candace to get her stuff fulfilled as well. So make sure you visit TatumStore.com, TatumStore.com. While we've been on the subject of The View, let me jump to this real quick too, because I just want people to think. I have been incredibly successful because I learned how to think. I learned how to process stuff. When things sound too juicy, I do my research, and I always find out that it's too juicy, something ain't right. Cop shoots man 45 times for no reason. I'm like, oh, that sounds super crazy. Let me go look it up. Oh, that wasn't what happened. He pulled a gun on him. He shot back. He actually killed 3 officers. Same thing about your faith. I always try to challenge you on your faith. Make sure you know what you believe. That's all. That's all, folks. That's all, folks. All right, let's talk about The View. Let's talk about The View. We already had a View clip. There's another View clip.
Video games and watch the tapes. You don't know why, son?
So always remember, whatever you do, believe in yourself. Your dreams will come true. For you, and you, and you. My show. What does it need? I know it needs something desperately, but I can't figure it out. Maybe you can?
It needs children.
Put the clip on the screen. Let's roll it. Let's bring them back. Let's bring them hamburger heifers back.
People are hooked on the Emmy-winning series The Traitors, hosted by the always spellbinding Alan Cumming.
All these liberals they all look gay. Can you get a straight man that come on there?
Celebrating at Club Cumming.
Yes.
Which is the nightclub you opened in the East Village here in Manhattan in 2017,
Yes.
which you call, and it is, a safe space for the LGBTQ plus community.
Yes.
How much more critical have spaces like that become now that this administration has...
I can't even, it's insane. I mean, it didn't start as a safe space. It started as a cabaret bar that was a queer, a queer place, a strongly queer clientele and staff and everything like that. Now, since, even before the election, over the last couple of years, especially against trans people, there's so many laws in various states across the country being absolutely heinous. And now, of course, the idea that I can't imagine what it must be like to be a trans person, knowing that the government is trying to legislate that you do not exist. I just think it's awful. And what kind of country are we in where we take rights away from people?
Yes.
Do you know what I mean? I think what is going on? So yeah, I feel like Club Cumming is even more now. During COVID, it felt like, I realised how much of a community we'd created and how important it was for people to be able to come. And now I definitely feel it is a safe space. I worry for some of the people who work for us and who come, and people are hoarding their medication because they're scared they're not going to be able to get it again. It's just a terrible, terrible situation.
Picking on a small minority of people.
Right, and it's, of course, the easiest marginalised group. And making it about things like toilets. It's not about that. That's a smokescreen to hide the other terrible things they want to do to us.
That's right.
Well, a gift that you're giving many of us who at times need escapism in this moment.
Oh, y'all to be me is great, and it's also stressful. To listen to these people every day is insane to me. Donald Trump, if you're trans and you're watching this, Donald Trump is not against trans people. If trans people would just be trans and stop doing all that crazy stuff, nobody would even know. Nobody would care. No one cares about people at the age of 18 doing whatever they want to do and being trans and identifying how they want to identify. Nobody cares and nobody knows. The problem is that you can't have it both ways.
It's my plan to stop the chemical, physical, and emotional mutilation of our youth. On day one, I will revoke Joe Biden's cruel policies on so-called gender-affirming care. Ridiculous. A process that includes giving kids puberty blockers, mutating their physical appearance, and ultimately performing surgery on minor children. Can you believe this? I will sign a new executive order instructing every federal agency to cease all programs that promote the concept of sex and gender transition at any age. I will then ask Congress to permanently stop federal taxpayer dollars from being used to promote or pay for these procedures and pass a law prohibiting child sexual mutilation in all 50 states. It'll go very quickly. I will declare that any hospital or healthcare provider that participates in the chemical or physical mutilation of minor youth will no longer meet federal health and safety standards for Medicaid and Medicare and will be terminated from the program immediately. Furthermore, I will support the creation of a private right of action for victims to sue doctors who have unforgivably performed these procedures on minor children. The Department of Justice will investigate Big Pharma and the big hospital networks to determine whether they have deliberately covered up horrific long-term side effects of sex transitions in order to get rich at the expense of vulnerable patients, in this case, very vulnerable. We will also investigate whether Big Pharma or others have illegally marketed hormones and puberty blockers which are in no way licensed or approved for this use. My Department of Education will inform states and school districts that if any teacher or school official suggests to a child that they could be trapped in the wrong body, they will be faced with severe consequences, including potential civil rights violations for sex discrimination and the elimination of federal funding. As part of our new credentialing body for teachers, we will promote positive education about the nuclear family, the roles of mothers and fathers, and celebrating rather than erasing the things that make men and women different and unique. I will ask Congress to pass a bill establishing that the only genders recognized by the United States government are male and female, and they are assigned at birth. The bill will also make clear that Title IX prohibits men from participating in women's sports, and we will protect the rights of parents from being forced to allow their minor child to assume a gender which is new and an identity without the parent's consent. The identity will not be new, and it will not be without parental consent. No serious country should be telling its children that they were born with the wrong gender, a concept that was never heard of in all of human history. Nobody's ever heard of this, what's happening today. It was all when the radical left invented it just a few years ago. Under my leadership, this madness will end. Thank you very much.
If you want to be a non-binary finary and you got blue hair and green eyes and you want to dress like a man and a woman and you don't respect principles of workplace etiquette, then people have a problem. If you're an entrepreneur and you do your own thing and you want to dress like a cocoon, you can do whatever you want to do. Nobody will say nothing. Nobody cares. But the problem is you want everybody else to change for something you dealing with. That's the biggest issue. And then you can't just say, okay, at the age of 18, the age of consent, you become an adult, you can make whatever decisions that you want to make. We have that guideline in place for everything a person does in their lives. Kids can't own guns if you're not the appropriate age. You can't drink alcohol. You can't drive a car. You can't do nothing. There's guidelines all the way through. And y'all want to jump over the guidelines and say 6-year-olds and 5-year-olds and 3-year-olds. There's no protection for these kids. What if some parent got a fetish and they want their kid to be trans because they like trans stuff? You can't protect a 3-year-old because they don't know what's going on. You can't protect a 10-year-old, a 15-year-old. They've been manipulated. So therefore, there should be guidelines in place that a 3-year-old can't make a decision to do something that they couldn't make a decision to do other things that have an age restriction on. Your 3-year-old, I mean, your 10-year-old can't even watch certain movies. It's a thing called PG-13, rated R. They shouldn't even be watching movies because it's not age appropriate. But y'all think y'all above the fray and you can just do whatever you want to do. That's when people have to start putting roadblocks in place. Y'all got books in schools talking about sucking and doing all kind of stuff. And therefore people got to say, come on, man. You got this in the elementary. Y'all doing too much. Then you got drag queen stuff at little kids. Drag queen story hour. Ain't nobody be messing with you at the drag show. You going to the elementary school and trying to brainwash kids. We can keep going. Ain't nobody care if you trans in high school. But you can't be just trans in high school and living your best life. You have to join the track team and beat out of all the girls and join the volleyball team and basketball team and scoring 80% of all their points. And you know what your abilities are before you ever joined because you knew what you was when you were a boy. You did that. Some of y'all ain't passable and you want to go into the bathroom. Have some respect for the masses. Everybody shouldn't change everything about their life because you struggling with a mental illness. People should be kind to you. People should be compassionate, but people shouldn't have to change everything they believe because you want to go to a bathroom that you want to go to. And you know you look like your uncle with a wig on. Some of y'all look like girls. You can go in there, ain't nobody gonna know. They're not pulling your pants down, looking at it, examining it. You know if you passing or not. You know you go somewhere and somebody wouldn't know you trans or not. You go in the bathroom you gonna go into. They wouldn't know. But it's you. It's the other ones. Homeboy ain't even trying. Adam Apple this big. Voice. Hey, it's ma'am. Yeah, bro, go on somewhere, man. Go to your bathroom at the house because you tripping. That's just like if somebody wanted to be a nudist. That's fine. Be naked at your house. That don't mean everybody else got to get exposed to your genitalia because you want to be a nudist. There's nude beaches. There's places for you to go. These people act like everybody got to acquiesce. That means I should be able to pull my junk out and my pants down and walk around the neighborhood because I feel like I should be a nudist. Hey, dummy, you live in a population full of people where we have agreed upon social things to keep us all straight, where a grown man is not exposing your child with nudity because he's somehow in a phase. Come on. All right. I just had to let that go.